Look here, man. I'm back on my DS squared shit here, back for another episode. This is number 2. I did number 1 yesterday, and that was a little Facebook live video or whatever. I don't really like doing those motherfuckers too much. I don't know, the little faces floating by freak me the fuck out. So I figured I'd get back on my YouTube shit, because it's pretty much a sinking ship, and luckily I can do whatever the fuck I want, because I don't make no money off this. No way, you dig. So I was driving through Wilmington this morning, making my deliveries like I do, because I do that shit every Friday, and I fucking hate it there. And I got to looking around at the people, and thinking to myself, man, a lot of these motherfuckers need to be pistol whipped. But as a result of me thinking that, it got my wheels to turning, and so it brought me back to a topic that I'm gonna share with y'all today. I'm gonna tell y'all the story how me and my niggas got robbed in the KFC on Sunday morning. Everybody else out, feeling the spirit. These niggas trying to make us feel the steel, but whatever. So it's Sunday morning, and I had to open Sunday morning. It's easy money working in the KFC, or at least it used to be, because ain't nothing but old folks getting coffee. But we hadn't opened up yet. It was about 9:30, something like that. And so I'm thinking, yeah, man, slow day is what I need, because I was out the night before partying with my homeboys. We playing games and shit, hanging out, and I stayed out way too motherfucking late, even though I had to work the next day, and I knew that shit, but I didn't care. So I'm coming in thinking, yeah, this is what I need, good, easy day. And, easy for the first half, because I don't know how it is now, but back in the day on Eastern Avenue, shit didn't really get popping off till about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Church started letting out and all that shit. Coincidentally, just a quick side note on that, because motherfuckers get the spirit and want to come eat chicken and shit, and it's like the little symbol for Jesus is supposed to be that fish that you see back on the back of motherfuckers' cars. The shit should be a goddamn drumstick, but I digress. Anyway, that's really when shit gets heavy, because niggas get the word and then want to eat the bird for whatever motherfucking reason. Me myself, after church, I used to want to go to fucking sleep. But anyway, so we in there and we setting up shop. It was 4 of us. It was myself on drive-through, because I hated that shit, and they got wind of that, and I guess they felt the need to put me on that motherfucker all the time. My man Teray, Teray was good people. I think he was gonna be the cook for today. He was in the back. Faye was the shift supervisor, so she was gonna have the headset on, basically to make sure I ain't start no trouble like I usually do, because that's how I get down. And Francine, she was gonna be the cashier, and I ain't really mind Francine working with me, because Francine was thicker than a peanut butter Snicker, and she was kind of clumsy, so she was always accidentally hitting me with her titties or her ass, and I was like, shit, that's cool, that kind of clumsy is always welcome on my shift, so I didn't mind any of that. And we setting up shot. I got the headset on and shit. I go to the back. I remember I went to the back area to pick up some hand sanitizer for them little things you find on the wall. We was running through them shits real fast. I guess it was called like greasing that motherfucker. But I go back to get this hand sanitizer, and I'm coming back around the corner, have the container in my hand, and I hear Faye go, leak. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, I ain't did shit yet. There ain't no reason for you to be calling me like that. We ain't open for me to start no goddamn trouble yet. And I happen to look up, and she's got this weird white lady look on her face, that one. And so I happen to look over, away from her, and there's this nigga standing in front of me with like some fake ass soldier boy, like bandana mask on his face, shit, like waving at me. He ain't giving instructions. Ain't nothing worse than a stupid motherfucking criminal. This nigga, he brandishing, but he ain't giving no instructions. I'm like, nigga, you ain't never robbed nobody before, have you? And I remember thinking, like, that gun looked fake, because guns have weight to him. You know what I mean? And he was a little skinny motherfucker, but and I was like, all right, nigga, whatever. So, I'm like, oh, shit, it's a robbery. And I put my hands up, whatever. And you could tell these niggas weren't that coordinated or organized, because, like, the instructions that they did give was mumbled. And I'm basically, I remember essentially, I'm helping you finish your robbery. I'm like, do you want me to take this drive-through belt off, nigga? Is that what you asking me? Because I don't speak Tasmanian, motherfucker. I'm like, it's too early for that shit. But, I remember that, coincidentally, there's a mystery that was never solved within the course to that motherfucking robbery. I don't know how the fuck they got in. Because there was no forced entry. They didn't break any glass or windows. I'd have heard that shit. Everything was still intact. For all I know, they must have knocked on the door with the guns, and Faye must have let them in because, like, I guess the power of Christ compelled her to open the door or some shit with it being Sunday morning. The fuck if I know. But anyway, we up in there, and I took my drive-through belts off. She took hers off, and I remember they had us face the wall over there by the dish sink. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a dish sink right here, and there was a brick wall where we kept the soap dispensers for the mop water and all that shit. So we standing there, and I'm like, man, niggas. I remember thinking to myself, like, yeah, man, I'm an official Baltimore nigga now. I'm like, shit, you officially from Baltimore, you get robbed. That's the way I looked at it. You know, I mean, I don't know why I thought that shit. Nigga was half asleep. I ain't give a fuck. And I remember standing there, me and my nigga Teray, we like side by side facing the wall and shit. He looking at me, I'm looking at him, and we giving each other this look like, hey nigga, we don't get paid enough to be heroes. So we standing there just like waiting for them to do their thing. Cause I remember thinking like, damn, I wish they hurry to fuck up and rob us so I could go ahead and fry these strips up, nigga. I want to go ahead and give me some damn strips and biscuits this morning. I'm fucking hungry. Like, how long does it take to rob a fucking fast food establishment? And we sitting there posted up waiting, and I remember I heard, I'm like, the fuck? I had to look back. Francine behind me crying. Like, a lot. Like, puddle crying. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, mama, you ain't never been robbed before? Damn. Well, everybody responds to it differently their first time, I guess. And, it hadn't registered yet. But I remember thinking like, oh, she's in front of Teray. So if they start popping off and, you know, letting them damn hammers go, they gonna hit her a good 4-5 times before they hit him. Because remember, she had that coke shit going, that thick shit. And he was skinny dude. So, you know, he was gonna be covered, have like a little titty and ass shield, I guess. And I remember thinking like, oh man, that's really scary for her. And that's really unfortunate. You know, I'm hoping they don't start doing that, because that's a waste of some woman, and that's not great. Oh, I ain't want them to hit Faye neither, you know. I feel inclined to put that in there. I was indifferent, you know. I ain't want her to get shot neither. You know, but I wasn't really trying to stick my dick in Faye, so I wasn't as invested. That's a terrible thing to say, but, you know. I'm speaking in context of a 16-year-old nigga in comparison to a 34-year-old man. That's different thinking. And it's funny how shit happened, because I remember the safe. I think Faye went to open the safe on because she hadn't been to the bank yet to take all the money from, I guess, the night before or something like that. Because, you know, Friday and Saturday nights was really that's the big money. Because, you know, you got the movie theaters back yonder. The East Point Mall, back when it was still popping, was right across the street. And you had Cactus Willie's over there, because they were always packed. So if for whatever reason you couldn't get in there, a lot of folks would give up and just couldn't get chicken fucking with us. Unless, of course, I was like hanging out the drive-through window harassing niggas, in which case they weren't gonna come over there. Not to buy no chicken, no way. So, you know, I remember they fuck around, held us up, got the money, whatever. Took them for fucking ever. I'm like, nigga, come on. The strips, my nigga. The strips. That's what I'm trying to get to. You know, Sunday morning I ain't ate, but I remember, so they did everything they I guess they assumed they was going to do, and then they had us go and stand in the freezer, and just left us there. And I was like, all right. And normally I wouldn't have minded that, but it's like, why put us in the freezer? Like, my nigga, we not gonna give chase to you. Me and my nigga Teray, we just watching y'all, like, pointing out all the flaws in your fucking robbery. It was terrible, boys. Whew. It was like a Special Olympics version of Ocean's 11 in that bitch. Ocean's Disneyland, or whatever the fuck. But so we post up in the freezer, and Francine's still crying, and I'm like, God damn, like, you know, the guns ain't there no more. But I ain't say nothing, because, you know, it was a very traumatic experience for her, and Faye was trying to calm her down, and I'm sitting there like, man, really would like to get out and get my strips. Like, I wasn't fazed by no motherfucking robbery, nigga. This, you know, The only time you should really worry about a robbery is if, one, you don't have anything to give to said nigga that's robbing you, or if the motherfucker is just crazy enough to go ahead and try and clap you anyway, in which case, hey, we all get dealt a hand. But I remember they, eventually we got tired of waiting in that motherfucker. And I was like, fuck it, let's poke our head out. You know what I mean? You gonna clap a nigga for being impatient? So we stick a head out. Okay, they gone. They dipped out. And obviously immediately Faye goes to call the police. I'm not gonna bother making no joke there. You go ahead and make your own. Fuck it. And she went ahead and called the police. They wait. They come up in there, get our statements, and I'm like, man, do I even remember what the fuck I said to them? I wrote something down. Right, I think I wrote down like it was 3 Puerto Rican midgets or some shit. Like I ain't giving you no information, nigga. Ain't no reward you can give me that can fuck around and make up for niggas trying to find me on the block. Anyway, needless to say, Francine gave her 20-second notice right there. You know what I'm saying? Because she rode the bus back home with myself, and Teray. And needless to say, we didn't work that day. I essentially got a 3-day weekend because niggas wanted to be brave. But the thing that stands out to me was, all right, you robbed the KFC, right? It was Saturday night. The Saturday night was the night before. So what you made about? Because shit used to be popping in there on Saturdays. So I say you made about maybe a couple grand. It's 3 niggas. It was 3 niggas that robbed us, right? So now you take that couple grand. Let's say it was $3 grand, right? And you split that. So now you split that amongst 3 niggas. That's 3 bills. You got $1,000 each. That's like 3 bills. Or if you want to be a very big spender, you can pay like 1/8 of a student loan. That shit blew me away because I'm like, nigga, and they caught them niggas too because they caught one guy and he immediately flipped on the other 2. And I'm like, what a waste. Like, if you're going to put your freedom in danger, right? Go after a big score, right? A bank or armored truck. What's another good spot? That's another good spot motherfuckers be having money at. Nobody ever thinks to rob rich neighborhoods. Like, them gated communities, all them motherfuckers got money. Like, Wilmington, out in Wilmington where the beach is, a bunch of rich, pretentious motherfuckers everywhere. Like, picking gold from the street. If you're going to be a criminal, at least be a good one, right? But I'll never forget that shit, man. I fuck around, got a 3-day weekend just because niggas don't know how to be good criminals. So it all worked out for me. Well, almost, because, surprise, surprise, I still didn't get my goddamn strips. I had to go home, eat Captain Crunch with a, wait, did I eat Captain Crunch? Yeah, I ate motherfucking Captain Crunch, man. Nigga was all tasted up for some motherfucking strips and wedges, and niggas robbed us and I ain't get shit. Ain't that a bitch? But, sunrise, sunset, there was no real meat to this story sandwich that I gave you. It was just, I'd be reminiscing on shit, and I decided to go ahead and give y'all that story, man. And what a loss. In the end, it didn't work out for me at all because I didn't get my strips. I did get a 3-day weekend, but I didn't get my motherfucking strips. And Francine fucked around and quit. So, we were sans 2 titties, Ain't that a bitch? Because, let me think. 1, 2, 3. She was the thickest motherfucker in there, and then it was all the skinny girls, and they was pretty, but thick shit, Sunrise is pretty. You can't stick your dick in that neither. So yeah, man. This has been episode 2 of DS Squared. DS Squared is DSDS. This driver side daddy shit. That's how we get down. You ain't got to like, comment, subscribe. You ain't got to do none of that shit. You know what I mean? I don't do this for y'all. This is really more of a video diary. So if the sisters of fate are kind and I get older, I can look back on this and have a laugh with my wife and my son. If I'm really lucky, I can look back and have a laugh with my grandkids, which would be cool. Like, oh, granddaddy was silly. You ain't got to do none of that shit, man, because I ain't making no bread off these videos. I mean, you hear how I talk. Advertisers are horrified of profane language. Coincidentally, that little white boy had the motherfucking suicide video. I ain't afraid of that shit. But a nigga saying nigga, that's some scary shit. Heaven forbid a nigga can actually put together a sentence on his own without the use of, cards or autocorrect or Google. So, if you like fucks with me, go ahead and fucks with me. I'm probably going to make these every day when I get off work because it's a nice way to decompress before I have to go home and sit in the house and fight with the boy. Because, whew. But yeah, that's episode 2. They're going to be out.